Good day, ma'am. The topic is all about misuse of devices or maling paggamit sa mga devices. The use of production, sale, procurement, importation, distribution, or otherwise making available without right. So, dapat ang kuan sa mga product o pamaligya or pagkuha or pag-distribute is dapat authorized jud ka. A device including a computer program designed or adapted primarily for the purpose of committing any of the offenses. So, ang sa device daw is naka-include ang naka-include na ang computer program para kuan sa kinsay mo commit ana nga bala kuan kay a computer password, access code, or similar data by which the whole or any part of a computer system is capable of being accessed with intent that it be used for a purpose or committing any of the offenses under this act. So kinsa dato sa computer daw is na password or access code. So dito lamang kuan kung naay mo kuan ang katong nag-commit ma-access nila, makita nila sa kuan kinsay ni commit the, the the position of an item referred to in paragraph 5 above with intent to said device for the purpose of committing any ng position of item referred paragraph 6 gikuan ni gibuhat ni para makabalo makuha ng purpose ani sa pag-commit sa under ani nga section. So cyber squatting, the acquisition of a domain name over the internet in bad faith or to profit, mislead, destroy reputation, and deprive others from registering the same if such of domain name is. So kaning cyber squatting is ang kuan ni is silang paggamit og mga pangalan or mga negosyo, mugamit sila og kuan nga mga pangalan aron makapangatik, maka-scam sila. Similar identical selling lead similar to an existing trademark. So dapat naka-registered with the identical or any similar with the name of person. Pwede po siya nga person ang gamiton. Next is computer related forgery, the input, iteration, or deletion of any computer data without right, resulting in authentic data with the intent that it be considered upon for legal purposes as if were authentic regardless whether or not the data is directly readable and intelligible. So kaning computer related forgery is kanang kopyahon nila ang mga data sa mga computer aron makuha nila. Then kaning computer related fraud is gamit ang ilahan ni is magamit sila og computer data or program para madamage ang mga unit or mga computers. Then computer related identity theft, the intentional acquisition, use, misuse, transfer, position, alteration, or deletion of identifying information belonging to another, whether natural or juridical, without right. So kaning computer related identity theft, example ani is kanang mga accounts like bank accounts or mga credit card. Dito sila mang-scam. Then cybersex is the willful engagement, maintenance, control, or operation directly of any lascive use, exhibition of sexual organs or sexual activity with a computer system. So kaning cybersex is kanang ginabuhat ni sa computer nga kanang kinapakita ang mga private parts kanang ginapugos. Then child pornography, the unlawful prohibited acts defined and punishable by Republic Act number 9775 or Anti-Child Pornography Act 2009, committed through the computer system. So kabalo naman tani sa ang child pornography, kung ikaw daw mag-commit og magkuan nga ng child pornography is punishable ka sa Republic Act number 9775. Then unsolicited commercial communication, the expression commercial electronic communication with the use of computer system which seek to advertise, sell or offer for sale products and services are prohibited unless aning unsolicited commercial communication is gamit sila computer aron maka-advertise or makabaligya sila og mga products. Then there is prior affirmative consent from recipient na ay authorize ang mukuha na. The primary intent of communication is for service and or administrative announcements from the sender to its existing users, subscribers, or customers. So ang kuha na to una is katong mga makakita to is katong mga subscribers or mga customer. So ang kuha na to una is katong mga makakita to is katong mga subscribers or mga customer jud. Commercial electronic communication contains a simple, valid, and reliable way for the recipient to receive of further commercial electronic message from the same source. Ang katong commercial nga kuan is kuan siya simple or kanang valid for recipient kanang kuan. Then libel, unlawful or prohibited acts of libel as defined as in Article 355 of Revised Penal Code as amended, committed through the computer system or any similar means which may be devised in future. So kaning libel is magpagawas ka og istorya nga dili mao. And Section 5, other offenses. The following act shall also constitute na offense. Kaning aiding or abetting in the commission of cybercrimes. Any person who willfully abets or aids in the commission of any of the offenses enumerated in this act shall be held liable. Kanang isa tong mo encourage sila sa mga tao nga ay kung kisa tong mo encourage na is liable gyapon siya nga makasuhan. Then attempt in the commission of cybercrime, any person who willfully attempts to commit any of the offenses enumerated in this act shall be held liable. So kung sa tong tao nga gusto nga mo attempt to commit kanang buhaton niya kay liable gyapon siya. Section 6, all crimes defined and penalized by Revised Penal Code as amended in special laws committed by truth and with the use of information and communication in technologies shall be recovered by the relevant provisions of this act, provided that penalty to be imposed shall be 1 degree higher than provided by the revised penal code as amended in special laws as the case may be. So kaning section 5 is tanang crimes nga define sa revised penal code is makuanan ka og imong kaso is 1 degree higher than kanang 2 years or 4 months 2 years 4 months and 1 day to 6 years ang katagalon sa iyang kuan.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Arnelyn Lazaga, and I will be discussing Section 8 penalties. Any person found guilty of any of the punishable acts enumerated in Section 4A and 4B of this act shall be punished with imprisonment of prison mayor or fine at least 200,000 pesos up to a maximum amount commensurate to the damage incurred or both. Any person found guilty of the punishable acts under Section 4A 5 shall be punished with imprisonment of prison mayor or a fine of not more than 500,000 pesos or both. If punishable acts in Section 4A are committed against critical infrastructure, the penalty of reclusion temporal or a fine of at least 500,000 pesos up to a maximum amount commensurate to the damage incurred or both shall be imposed. Any person found guilty of any of the punishable acts enumerated in Section 4C1 of this act shall be punished with imprisonment of prison mayor or a fine of at least 200,000 pesos but not exceeding 100 million pesos or both. Any person found guilty of any of the punishable acts enumerated in Section 4C2 of this act shall be punished when penalties are enumerated in Republic Act No. 9775 of the Anti-Child Pornography Act of 2009, provided that the penalty to be imposed shall be 1 degree higher than that provided for in Republic Act No. 9775 if committed through a computer system. Any person found guilty of any of the punishable acts enumerated in Section 4C3 shall be punished with imprisonment of arresto mayor or a fine of at least 50,000 pesos but not exceeding 250,000 pesos or both. Any person found guilty of any of the punishable acts enumerated in Section 5 shall be punished with imprisonment 1 degree lower than that of the prescribed penalty for the offense or a fine of at least 100,000 pesos but not exceeding 500,000 pesos or both. Section 9. Corporate liability. When any of the punishable acts herein defined are knowingly committed on behalf for the benefit of juridical person by a natural person acting either individually or as part of the organ of the juridical person who was a leading position within based on a power of representation of the juridical person, provided the act committed falls with the scope of such authority. An authority to take decision on behalf of the juridical person, provided that the act committed falls within the scope of such authority. An authority to exercise control within the juridical person shall be held liable for the fine equivalent to the at least double the fines impossible in Section 7 up to maximum of 10 million pesos. If the commission of any of the punishable acts herein defined was made possible due to the lack of supervision or control by natural person referred to and described in the preceding paragraph for the benefit of the juridical person by a natural person acting under its authority, the juridical person shall be held liable for the fine equivalent to at least double the fines impossible in Section 7 up to maximum of 5 million pesos. Section 10. Law Enforcement Authorities. The National Bureau of Investigation (NBI) and the Philippine National Police (PNP) shall be responsible for the efficient and effective law enforcement of the provision of this Act. The NBI and PNP shall be organized as cybercrime unit or center manned by special investigators to exclusively handle cases involving violation of this Act. Section 11. Duties of Law Enforcement Authorities. To ensure that the technical nature of cybercrime and its prevention is given focus and considering the procedure involved for international cooperation, law enforcement authorities, especially the Computer or Technology in Crime Division or unit spans for the investigator of cybercrime, are required to submit timely and regular reports, including pre-operation, post-operation, and investigation results, and such other documents may be required to the Department of Justice (DOJ) for review and monitoring. Section 12. Real-time collection of traffic data. Law enforcement authorities with due cause shall be authorized to collect or record by technical or electronic means traffic data in real time associated with specific communications transmitted by means of a computer system.
Hello, good day everyone. I'm Paulo Wenceslao, the next reporter of the Group 4. Traffic data refer only to the communications origin, destination, route, time, date, size, duration, or type of underlying service but not content nor identities. Traffic data is ma-allowed lang ni siya sa communication, destination, route, time, date, size sa mga kinaiyang services o computer system pero ma-identify and able to implement yun siya sa mga na-mention na law enforcement authorities. All other data to be collected or seized or disclosed will require a court warrant. Court warrant is gi-issued by judge nga naay authorized nga maka-arrest, task detention or pag-search and seizure sa usa ka butang like data sa computer system. Service providers are required to cooperate and assist law enforcement authorities in the collection or recording of the above stated information. Service providers like Globe, PLDT, TNT, and daghan pa is specifically required to cooperate labi na ay warrant gikan sa authorities. The court warrant required under this section shall only be issued or granted upon written application and the examination under oath or affirmation of the applicant and the witnesses he may produce and the showing. Number 1, that there are reasonable grounds to believe that any of the crimes enumerated herein above has been committed or is being committed or is about to be committed. Second, that there are reasonable grounds to believe that evidence that will be obtained is essential to the conviction of any person for or to the solution of or to the prevention of any such crimes. And third, that there are no other crimes means readily available for obtaining such evidence. Okay, Section 13. Preservation of computer data. The integrity of traffic data and subscriber information relating to communication services provided by a service provider shall be preserved for a minimum period of 6 months from the date of the transaction. Content data shall be similarly preserved for 6 months from the date of receipt of the order from law enforcement authorities requiring its preservation. It means if na-process na sa December, so until June, so dapat na finish nag-process ang na-collect nga data for preservation. So mao na yang purpose. Law enforcement authorities may order a one-time extension for another 6 months, provided that once computer data preserved, transmitted, or stored by a service provider is used as evidence in a case. The mere furnishing to such service provider of the transmittal document to the office of the prosecutor shall be deemed a notification to preserve the computer data until the termination of the case. The service provider ordered to preserve computer data shall keep confidential the order and its compliance. So next, section 14, disclosure of computer data. So law enforcement authorities, upon securing a court warrant, shall issue an order requiring any person or service provider to disclose or submit subscribers' information, traffic data, or relevant data in its possession or control within 72 hours from receipt of the order in relation to a valid, compliant, officially docketed and assigned for investigation, and the disclosure is necessary and relevant for the purpose of investigation. So ang section 14 kay ang warrant is still secured and required to authorize the disclosure. Kani is provided under Rule on Cybercrime Warrants, then issued by the Supreme Court for the purpose of investigation. So next, section 15, search, seizure, and examination of computer data. Where a search and seizure warrant is properly issued, the law enforcement authorities shall likewise have the following powers and duties within the time period specified in the warrant to conduct interception as defined in this act, and A. To secure a computer data or computer system or storage medium. B. To make and retain a copy of those computer data secured. So, ang A and B is secure siya para iwas leaking or revelation sa data. So, letter C, to maintain the integrity of the relevant examination of the computer data storage medium. And C, to maintain the integrity of the relevant stored computer data. D, to conduct forensic analysis or examination of the computer data storage medium. C and D is so forensic analysis. Kuan na siya, technique sa pag-investigate para ma-identify ug i-keep ang evidence sa computer. So letter E, to render inaccessible or remove those computer data in access computer or computer and communications network. Law enforcement and authorities may request for an extension of time to complete the examination of the computer data storage medium and to make a return thereon, but in no case for a period longer than 30 days from date of approval by the court. So, thank you, that's all. Next reporter.
So, Section 16, Custody of Computer Data. All computer data including content and traffic data, examined under a proper warrant shall within 48 hours after the expiration of the period fixed therein be deposited to the court in a sealed package. So katong evidence is nga kuan is dapat naka-package and shall be accompanied by an affidavit by the law enforcement authority issuing and stating the dates and times covered by the examination and the law enforcement authority who may access the deposit among the other relevant data. So ang law enforcement authority lang ang mag-access sa deposit nga items. So the law enforcement authority shall also certify that no duplicates or copies of the whole or any part. So ang law enforcement notice ginapatunan nila nga dili gid walay copy or any kinds of duplicates or any part thereof have been made or if made, that all such duplicates or copies are included in the package deposited with the court. The package so deposited shall not be open. So dili to sa ablihan or the recordings replay or used in evidence or then contents revealed except upon order of the court. So nagdepende ni siya sa korte if ipa-open na siya, which shall not be granted except upon motion with due notice and opportunity can be heard to the persons whose conversation or communication have been recorded. Section 17. Destruction of computer data. Upon expiration of the periods as provided in Section 13 and 15, service provided and the law enforcement authority as the case may be shall immediately and completely destroy the computer data subject of preservation and dissemination. So law enforcement authority, so kinadali nila siya para i-delete ni siya or i-destroy ang atong gi-preserve nga evidence. Section 18. Exclusionary rule. Any evidence recorded without a valid warrant or beyond the authority of the shall be inadmissible for any proceeding before any court or tribunal. So diri so kung sa nga evidence nga walay dili valid ang warrant o dili pa sa inadmissible sa human, so dili siya pwede litisin sa anumang human. Section 19. Restricting or blocking access to computer data. When a computer data is manifestly found to be in a violation of the provision of this act, the DOJ shall issue in order to restrict or block access to sa computer data. So ang DOJ mo issue order para po din sa privacy. Section 20. Non-compliance. Failure to comply with the provision of Chapter 4 whereof specifically the orders from the law enforcement authority shall be punished as a violation of Presidential Decree number 1829 with imprisonment of prison correctional in its maximum periods or fine 100,000 pesos or both which every non-compliance with an order issued by the law enforcement authorities. Chapter 5. Jurisdiction. Section 21. Jurisdiction. The regional trial court shall have jurisdiction over any violation of the provision of this act, including any violation of committed by the Philippine national regardless of the place commission. Jurisdiction shall lie if any of the elements was committed with the Philippines or committed with the use of any computer system while a party is situated in the country, or when such commission any damage caused a natural jurisdiction person who at the time of offense was committed was in the Philippines. So example halimbawa ni is kaning diri lang nahitabo sa Philippines ang criminal o ang victim. Chapter 6. Section 22. General principle relating to international cooperation. So all relevant international instrument on international cooperation in criminal matters arrangements agree on the basis of uniform or reciprocal legislation and domestic laws to the widest extent possible for the purpose of investigation or proceeding concerning criminal offense related to computer system and data, or for the collection of evidence in electronic form of a criminal offense shall be given full force and effect. So halimbawa is kaning international cooperation is kaning ang victim is diri sa Philippines, then ang criminal dito sa laing bansa. So, Chapter 7, Section 20, Department of Justice. There is hereby created when cybercrime with DOJ designated in the central authority in all matters related to international mutual assistance and extraction. So, kini ang DOJ, so gi-create mo siya para tabang po niya sa mga victims or through computer crimes. Section 24, Cybercrime Investigation and Coordination Center. This is hereby created within 30 days from the effectively this act. An interagency body to be known as the Cybercrime Investigation and Coordination Center (CIC) under the administrative supervision of the Police Office of the President for policy coordination among concerned agencies and for the formulation and enforcement of the National Cybersecurity Plan. So, kaning Cyber Investigation and Cooperation Center, so kaning organization, so sila ang nagatabang sa mga victims na biktima sa isa ka computer crime or cyber crime. So sila ang mag-investigate sa kaso. Thank you.
Section 25, Composition. The CICC shall be headed by the Executive Director of the Information and Communication Technology Office under the Department of Science and Technology, as a chairperson with the Director of the NBI as a vice chairperson, the Chief of the PNP head of the DOH of Cybercrime, and one representative from the private sector and academy as members. The CIC shall be managed by a secretary at selected existing personnel and representatives from the different participating agencies. Section 26, Powers and Function. The CICC shall have the following powers and functions. So, letter A, to formulate a national cyber security plan and extend immediate assistance for the suppression of the real-time commissions of cybercrime offenses through a computer emergency response team. Letter B, to coordinate the preparation of appropriate and effective measures to prevent the suppress cybercrime activities as provided for in this law. Letter C, to monitor cybercrime cases being banded by the participating law enforcement and prosecution agency. Letter D, to facilitate international cooperation on intelligence, investigations, training, and capacity building related to cybercrime prevention, suppression, and prosecution. Letter E, to coordinate the supports and participation of the business sector, local government units, and non-government organizations in cybercrime prevention program and other related projects. Letter F, to recommend the enactment of appropriate laws, issuance, measures, and policies. Letter G, to call upon the government agency to render assistance in the accomplishment of the CICC's mandated tasks and functions. And lastly, to perform all other matters related to cybercrime prevention and suppression, including capacity building and such other functions and duty as may be necessary for the proper implementation of this act. So, Chapter 8 of Final Provisions, we have the Section 27, Appropriation. The amount of 50 million pesos shall be appropriated annually for the implementation of this act. So, when we say an annually, it is a yearly. Then, the Section 28, Implementing Rules and Regulation. So, the ICTO, the DOST, and DOG, the Department of the Interior and local government shall jointly formulate necessary rules and regulation within the 90 days of the approval of this act for its effective implementation. So, mag-undergo pa siya og 90 days before siya maaprubahan para ma-emi mo siyang effective na implementation. So, we have the Section 29, the separability clause. If any provision of this act is held invalid, the other provision not affected shall remain full force and effect. So, dini sa separability clause is kung unsa itong mga provisions nga invalid, ito katong mga uban nga provisions kay dili to siya mapiktuhan, ma-remain gyud mo siya nga full force and effective. Then sa section 30 is repealing clause. All laws, degrees, or rules inconsistent with this act are hereby repealed or modified accordingly. So kani siya repealed daw siya or ma-modify sa according daw sa Section 33 of Republic Act number 8792 or the Electronic Commerce Act is hereby modified accordingly. So, mo to siya. Then, Section 31, Effectivity. This act shall take effect 15 days after the completion of its publication in the official gazette or in at least 2 newspaper or general circulation. So, before siya ma-public, so kuan pa siya og 15 days before siya ma-public. And that's all.
Good day, everyone. I'm Jessa Castromayor, and I'm the last reporter of Group 4. So my topic is all about the impact of cybercrime on business. Increased cost. Ransomware can prevent workers from accessing any IT systems unless the company pays off the hackers. This creates a major financial burden. Hiscox estimate that 6% of companies paid a ransom in 2019, creating 381 million in losses. So, yung nga kada ko ang nagasto sa company or nawala sa company para lang ma-access nila balik ang ilahang system. Business also must hire lawyers and other experts to remain compliant with cybersecurity regulation. If they are the victims, then they might also have to shell out more for attorney's fees and damages because of civil cases against the company. So to make sure the security of their company, magkasunod sila dako-dako. They hire experts like IT professionals to make their company secured against cyber attacks. In 2017, Equifax, a top 3 credit bureaus, had a data breach which compromised personal data of 147 million customers. When we say data breach, it is a security violation in which the protected or confidential data or information was stolen or used by unauthorized individuals. This resulted in subsequent litigation. The company paid up to $425 million to assist affected individuals. Kailangan ng customers, ilahan ng liability because it's their obligation to secure the personal data of or information of their customers para dili ma-access, makawat, or ma-disclose sa lain. Second is operational disruption. In addition to actual financial damages, companies often face indirect costs from cyber attacks, such as the possibility of a major interruption to operation that can result in loss of revenue. Kadili naman makaran ng ilang business because of some interruptions made by cybercriminals, sumuwat na sila kita. Cybercriminals use many ways to affect a company's normal activities, is either by infecting computer system with a malware that deletes high-value information, or by installing malicious code which block access to your website. This all causes a huge operational disruptions. Common na siya mahitabo sa mga online businesses, either ang owner itself ang dili maka-access sa ilang website or ang customers na gusto unta mapalit sa ilang products. Third is altered business practices. Cybercrime affects business in more than just financial ways. So, dili lang kay financial purposes ang ilang nayuban, gusto lang jud dauton ang business. Companies have to alter the way they store and collect information to ensure the sensitive information isn't vulnerable. Many companies have stopped storing customers' financial and personal information such as credit card number and birth dates. So, kung sa una, patakara sila store og data, dili strong ang security, so dapat ilahang utruhon, ilahang i-secure og maayo para dili siya basta-basta ma-access sa mga cyber criminals. Fourth is reputational damage. Companies that fall victims to larger cyber attacks may find their reputation significantly damaged. Customers and suppliers may not leave their sensitive information in the hand of a company whose IT infrastructure was hacked at least once before. So, madaot na ang reputasyon sa company. Dili na maayo ang tanaw sa mga customers sa katong mga company or businesses na naanay record of cyber attacks. Like, for example, gusto ka mag-invest og money sa bangko. Syempre, as a customer, dito jud ta sa bangko na masaligan. Kanang maka-assure sa security sa money ng atong gi-invest. At the same time, sa atong personal or credit card information against cyber attacks. Then, the last one is stolen intellectual property. When we say is intellectual property, include na dira yung mga ideas or invention like companies' product design, technologies, go-to-market strategies, and etc. A company's product design, this intellectual property is stored in the cloud, which make it very vulnerable. According to the report, 30% of US companies have their intellectual property stolen by cyber hackers within the past 10 years. Like for example, if someone stole your company's product design or katong mga inventions nimo, ilang gigamit for their own benefits without your consent, pwede nimo sila makasuhan og intellectual property theft. And that's all. Thank you.